Next category is radians, radius, and arc length. So I think this stuff is new, so I think all of you should be paying attention, unless you already looked at examples, which is totally fine. So in a circle with radius 9, an angle measuring 2 pi radians intercepts an arc. Find the length of the arc in simplest form. So luckily for you guys, there is a formula. So this is the formula you have to remember. That is an S. S, for some strange reason, stands for your arc length. Maybe this was like length in a different language. So S is your arc length, is equal to R is the radius. I think that one was pretty straightforward because you should remember that R is radius, hopefully. And this little 0 with a line through it, this is pronounced theta. It's a Greek letter. We have like, English letters. Now we have Greek letters. This is a theta. So that's how you say theta, this thingy. And so theta is going to be your angle in radians. Sorry, that does not look like the word radians, but that is supposed to say radians. Okay, so S, for some strange reason, stands for arc length, is equal to the radius times the angle in radians. This is the formula you will need for this section. And then we're just going to plug everything that they give us into our equation, and then you're just going to solve for whatever you want. So it says in a circle with radius 9, so I'm going to put 9 over here, an angle measuring 2 pi radians, that is your angle in radians because it says an angle measuring 2 pi radians, intercepts an arc. Find the length of the arc in simplest form. So we don't know the arc length, but arc length is S. And then so it tells us in our equation, S is equal to 9 times 2 pi. So all you have to do is multiply 9 times 2 pi. So S is equal to, leave the pi in there, just say what is 9 times 2? It's 18. So it's going to be 18 pi. Final answer. Any questions? Let's do another one. Let me scroll. Okay. All right, so for this one, it says in a circle with radius 6, an angle intercepts an arc of length 12. So this is an arc this time. So I'm going to say 12 pi. Sorry, not 12, 12 pi. Find the angle in radians in simplest form. So we don't know the angle this time. So I'm going to leave theta as the unknown variable in this equation. So we have 12 pi is equal to 6 times theta. This time it's not as simple as just multiplying because, well, theta is the one we're solving for. Theta is currently being multiplied to 6. So the way you get rid of the 6 is simply by dividing it by 6. So those cancel out. You'll get your angle in radians. And 12 pi over 6, we can simplify that because both 12 pi and 6 are divisible by 6. You actually just get 2 pi. 12 divided by 6 is 2. So this fraction simplifies to a whole number. So our final answer is 2 pi. Another one. We'll do 4 examples of this one just because I've seen people like struggle with this one a bit, like this section. So let me erase all of that. All right, this one we're not simplifying. This one says find the angle in radians to nearest tenth. So if it says to the nearest tenth, you just want like a decimal as your answer, okay? So in a circle with radius 6 or 9.6, so that's my radius, an angle intercepts an arc. So the angle intercepts an arc of length 25.2. 25.2 is your arc length. Find the angle in radians. So angle is the unknown. It's our theta. Find the angle in radians to nearest tenth. So we have 25.2 is equal to 9.6 times theta. We are solving for theta. So theta is being multiplied by 9.6. To get rid of that, you just divide by 9.6 on both sides. I'm going to use a calculator because obviously you wouldn't do that in your head. Okay. 25.2 divided by 9.6. And I'll write it out because I think you guys here in person can't see it. It says 2.625. We're rounding it to nearest tenth, so we want one decimal place. So we want to either keep or change the 6, depending on what this 2 is. So 2 is a small number, so we're going to keep that 6 as a 6. Your final answer is 2.6. All right, any questions for this one? Okay, one more. All right, so this one says in a circle with radius 5, an angle measuring 4 pi over 3 radians, intercepts an arc. Find the length of the arc in the simplest form. So we have S is equal to 5 times 4 pi over 3. And then we're just solving for S. Luckily for us, there's nothing to move around. S is already by itself. So all we have to do is multiply the 5 times 4 pi over 3. When you're multiplying a whole number and a fraction, some people forget how to do that. So I will remind you, think of it as 2 fractions. The whole number is really a fraction over 1. So when you have 2 fractions being multiplied together, you can just multiply it straight across. So 5 times 4 pi gives you 20 pi. And 1 times 3 gives you 3. So you have 20 pi over 3, which cannot be simplified. So 20 pi over 3 is your final answer. All right. Any questions? Submit. Yes. Okay, so that was this category, and let's move on to the next one.